Let me ask you this too, Todd. In reference to the other two people that we talked about down there, Meagan and Johnny, is there anything that you left out while we were at the jail talking, while we were at the detention center talking about them, that we need to know? I mean, obviously you told me, and make sure that I'm getting this right, you picked them up at Blackstock, and you know what, you picked them up at Blackstock and Regal Road, I think you said, and then...
That's, well...
Okay,
no,
sir. Start.
I met her there.
Okay.
Got her number. We talked on the phone for a brief moment.
Okay.
Then I met them later on at that, next to Ricky's Hot Dogs, big huge parking lot. They walked across and spoke to me there.
Okay.
I almost thought she was going to hit on me to actually, come on, I should have known that was in our car. But that's not what I was there for.
I got you.
I'll tell you, our meeting was shady as shit.
I understand. I mean, I got you because you show up with that.
In that parking lot?
Yeah, and her, kind of the way she was. I understand what you're talking about.
Basically offered her the job, offered to let him go in and come work as well. The next day, this was over several days. The next day, she was in the paper, mug shots. I guess you guys had arrested her for meth or some shit. I don't know. Something was in her bloodstream, and you took her kids away.
Okay.
I asked her about it, and she informed me that, yeah, she had drug issues and with that.
Okay.
I still was going to give him a chance. You know, I get shit happens to people. It's hard. I get it. And I picked him up, and I drove him to my Land of Kids Supplies, and got him down to my building, and that's when Johnny pulled a knife out, and
you shot.
I shot.
What'd you do with his knife?
Oh no, I don't keep that kind of crap.
You just threw it out?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. What did she do when you shot Johnny? What did she do when Johnny pulled the knife out? What did she say?
Nothing. There was no, oh shit.
Yeah.
Johnny, what are you doing? There was none of that. This was, her actions were, she knew he was doing that. They saw a guy who had a shitload of money, driving a car they can't afford. They didn't even have a car, and they were going to get something.
Okay. So then you shot him how many times?
Shot him twice.
Okay.
In the chest.
Okay.
He dropped forward. I went around him and put another one through his spinal column.
Okay, and you shot her?
Not exactly.
Okay.
The Connex was not meant to be a cage.
Okay.
All that chain shit was after the fact.
Okay.
Connex was designed for my food and my weapons. She panicked, but then I told her to sit down. She sat down. Went ahead and cuffed her, patted her down, told her I wasn't going to hurt her. She calmed down. For the first time I ever had a little bit of a panic of what the hell do I do with her. Put her here, put her there, drop her. What the hell do I do? Do I call the cops? Oh shit, I got legal guns. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. What do I do with her? She was batshit crazy, man. Got the tractor, got it out of there, picked the body up, and was trying to figure out what the hell to do with it.
This is Johnny's body?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I was having a little meltdown. The land was supposed to be my
sanctuary.
Yeah, not my killing field.
Right.
I understand. Not meant to be my killing field. It was supposed to be the place where I go to relax and get away from people and not deal with this shit. This killing wouldn't bother me because it was such needless bullshit. Hell, I was giving them money. Why were you robbing me?
Yeah.
Oh, she finally calmed down. But she was talking to me, and first she had drug issues.
Right.
And then she kept going off the deep end with weird shit and kept talking, and then she kept telling me that she had manic modes or some sort of bipolar lithium crap, I don't know what the hell it was, where she was up, down, up, down, up, down.
So she didn't mellow out like Kayla did?
No, not at all.
What made you decide to shoot her?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
I wasn't going to shoot her.
Okay.
I was going to give her money.
Okay.
I don't know why the hell she went the hell off. I held her. I hate the kidnapping part. I did another one. I held her there for a couple days.
How many days?
5 or 6.
Okay. So then what happened with her?
Went from there. Oh, there's a collar in there. That collar was Kayla's.
Neck collar?
Yeah, she had me order it.
She asked you to order it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll get to that in a minute.
Didn't use it, because after it came in the mail, I looked at it and went, oh.
Okay.
That shit too geeky for me. It's a stainless steel collar with like hooks for putting like locks on it. I mean, dude, it's like having your. I don't treat my dogs that way.
So what happened with Meagan?
Put her in there, fed her for a couple of days, proceeded to go ahead, mostly just left her the hell alone. Left her alone. I didn't know what to do with her, and then she kept burning shit. I come in and all of a sudden find that she burnt her blanket, and she burnt this. She's sitting next to 100,000 rounds of ammo. Love of God, please stop burning shit. If that thing goes off, holy shit.
Yeah.
Please do not catch the building on fire. She kept trying to catch shit on fire. And then go, I'm smoking. I would open the door and then a cloud would come out. It's like one of those cartoons. Looking back, giving her cigarettes is my mistake. I had her there, left her alone, took her down to the other building, sat her down for a while, got her to calm down, just please calm down, got her some food, told her basically that if she would just chill the hell out. You don't know me. You don't know very much about me. You don't have shit. And last time I could check from what was online, she had a warrant where they were looking for her ass. I'll give you an envelope for $4,000. I'll drive you up to damn Tennessee. I'll drop your ass off somewhere. If you got any common sense on this planet, you'll go left and I'll go right.
What'd she say?
Oh, she got so excited I got my dick sucked.
She did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't bad.
I don't know. Okay.
Hey, girl went off with not hey. I told her I would give her $4,000 and basically release her in Tennessee. Just go. Please, go. Don't come back. It seemed like an easy solution. She didn't really know my name, she didn't know my address, she didn't know where I lived. When I first met her, I mean, I told her who I was, but I just told her I was a realtor. She didn't really know me. There was very little for her to come in. What's she going to do? She's got warrants out for her arrest. She'll call you guys up and say, some asshole shot my boyfriend, but you're looking for me anyhow. I don't know where he lives. We went to some land. I don't know where the fuck I was. I wanted to get rid of her. The weather went to shit. We were having sleet. It was right before Christmas, man. We were having sleet. We were having rain. The weather went to shit.
Okay.
And I still had to find a way to get away from Ashley, my girlfriend, long enough to get up out of work, get this person to Tennessee, drop her off, and get home. That's not just a couple-hour trip.
No.
And if I'm dropping her, it ain't gonna be at the border. We're going north to Nashville. I want her way the hell away from me. I want her to forget where South Carolina is.
Right.
I told her, I said, I'll give you $4K in cash, drop you off somewhere, other side of nowhere. If you got any common sense, you keep walking, just don't come back.
Okay.
She was going to take it. She was happy. She was happy as hell for like 2 days.
Okay.
She was happy as hell. The last day, I went over there, opened the Connex up, She burned half the friggin' building. She took my ammo racks and grabbed them and did this.
Holy shit.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not for such a little shit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So then what happened?
Well, there was ammo everywhere and stuff everywhere, and she broke the fan. I got her a fan. She broke the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Crying, man, you just can't beat that shit. 2-day shipping. I did the best I could to make it
Right.
somewhat livable.
Mm-hmm.
Got her blankets, got her pillows. She lit the damn thing on fire. I'm surprised she didn't asphyxiate.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
I'm surprised she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
When I walked in the building, I was choking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, holy shit. Went to get her out, and then all of a sudden, it's like I had a caged animal on my hands. I don't know what the hell. She went from, I'm so freaking happy in the world to be, I'm going to go to Tennessee with money, and I'm going to restart my life, and thank you,
Mm-hmm.
to batshit crazy.
So just a minute.
I got you.
At that point, I tried to walk her out of the building. I just had enough. I walked outside. I was trying to calm down, trying to figure out what the hell to do with her, what to do with her. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I came back in the building. She was going nuts. Just, it wasn't like she was emotional about the situation. This has been days. It wasn't much about that. It was just like serious chemical imbalance shit. And she walked outside. I walked her outside. And when I walked her outside, I put a 40 in the back of her head.
Whitney Houston's death has us talking about her fight with addiction for so many years, and we don't know if it played a role in her death, but we do know that for more than 23 million Americans fighting addiction, quitting it's just not a matter of willpower. New research actually reveals that substance abuse causes lasting changes in brain function.
What exactly the brain looks like in someone who has addiction, who's going through this, is a pretty remarkable thing. I think it gives us a lot of insight into how it should best be treated and to also understand it. That's what I'm trying to do here. And I want to explain a couple of things quickly. First of all, this idea that someone has some sort of anticipation of taking a substance, that's sort of the first step. But then there are two important steps after that in the brain. And stick with me here. So imagine, for example, as you take a look at this animation I'm about to show you, that someone takes a drug of some sort. What happens there, and this is the middle of the brain, is that there is a sense of euphoria. That's dopamine there, those small little particles. That makes you feel good.
Is it any kind of drug? I mean, we're talking everything from cocaine to Xanax.
Yeah,
anything.
Just about any kind of drug, and not even drugs necessarily. It can be other things too, certain food substances, sugar, for example. There can be a certain addiction quality. But I think what's important is the next step. So you have that euphoria, but in someone who's a true addict, take a look at this picture here. On the left side of the brain is, you see the bright areas? That's still feeling good. That's the euphoria. But on the right side is someone who has an addiction now, not as much of that bright spot, and that is relevant. Why? Because they need more and more of the substance to try and get that euphoria back. Think about that for a second. You take the substance, you feel good, but in an addict, that good feeling doesn't last. So what do? You take more than ever before. And that's sort of the basic, sort of simplistic, but basic form of addiction.
fucking sick of these fucking people. Alright, help me, man.
Darling, you okay?
Oh, I'm not okay. I can't make any money. This fucking person keeps fucking blocking me.
Let me give you something just to help you out today, right?
Huh?
Let me give you some money just to help you out a little bit, right? You want to come by my place? Just to hang out?
Sure.
Here, hop in.
They still keep blocking me. They still keep blocking me, man. Unblock me. Come on, help me. 911. 911. Get this bitch fucking dead, man. Get him dead. Fucking die, bitch. Go.
Where are you staying now?
Just nowhere.
Addiction can make people do crazy things. It certainly changes the way you think, talk, how you interact with others, and how you think you're interacting with them. The proverbial scale that used to weigh decisions in favor of pride and dignity now justifies action because it's just pride. It's only dignity. It's often a branding thing, the stigma that comes with addiction, an easy iceberg point of reference that does little to give credence to the destructive internal battles an addict often lives. A constant struggle, a twisted ebb and flow, addicts endure despite the often downtrodden look. It can be easy to forget that these two are people, that they have stories, have a favorite food, a song they like, a smell that brings them back to a special place, friends and family, and lovers they love or dream of loving. We all are simply human, after all. No longer reserved for just the perceived hopeless, the introduction of OxyContin, Vicodin, and most recently fentanyl brought old drugs to new circles, and the greater underlying issues crept to eye level. Slowly, the right people began to listen, and with that, a rare glimmer of hope.
There have been successes in South Carolina's fight to get drug companies to own up to the addictive nature of opioid prescriptions. In August, Purdue Pharma, the makers of OxyContin, agreed in a consent judgment not to misrepresent the drug's potential for abuse, addiction, or physical dependence. Attorney John Reckenbile says the action was similar to tobacco companies admitting nicotine is addictive.
There is a realistic admission by a pharmaceutical company that is entering into an agreement that is now saying there's a problem here, and we now no longer can misrepresent or just make it not sound so egregious. This is a watershed moment.
it was like they disappeared. So I think with the law enforcement, they were like, well, you know, people don't have to be found. They said that he is 28 years old and he can go missing if he wants to. And that was their attitude, and we're like, well, if they were going to disappear, wouldn't they pack something?
John Joseph Coxie and Meagan Leigh McCraw would meet in 2010. A rare collision of truly kindred spirits, they fell into each other's arms naturally. Complemented by each other's confidence, they could be called dreamers, visionaries with eyes permanently fixed on ever-changing opportunities just outside their reach. They fed each other with enthusiasm and supported each other with a kind of blind faith, for better or worse. Drugs were a common bond between them, and maybe always were. The fine line between habit and addiction blurred by their confidence in each other's will for eventual abstinence. Not ever entirely lost, however, they shared a respect for family and tender care for those close to them. Those they loved deeply, as it was for those who loved them. Breaking stereotypes, John's hard and toughened look betrayed his gentle and caring nature, and Megan's overly laid-back detachment hid her fierce devotion to family. Megan and John would conceive her second child, the first with John, very early on, and Megan would briefly dry out while pregnant. However, newborn JJ tested positive for opiates. Already registered with the state in South Carolina, this meant Megan and her children would forever be subject to South Carolina's Infant Act, a bill that allows for narcotics testings in infants without parental consent and under criminal threat of neglect. To a growing few, this relapse was unsurprising, and perhaps expected. Sadly, this wasn't the first time this happened. Never of any permanent fixed address, they were often aimless, or at least driven by more confused motives, bouncing from job to job and hustle to hustle. While not always desperate, Megan held steady work for more than a couple of weeks at a local Waffle House, where she would eventually meet Todd. As years passed and the predictable trends of struggling addicts continued, Sid and Nancy, Johnny and Megan, arm in arm, fell headlong backwards into what would very quickly become a stigma they both earned over time, although they both worked tirelessly to try and overcome. Clean and sober, and then not, and back and forth again, both John and Megan earned their first-name basis with police. And so, in late December, with both children in the car, the two were pulled over, intoxicated and pocket flush. They were immediately arrested, and their innocent progeny was taken by the state, tested for drugs by mandate, and both children failed. A court date was set for later that week, and John and Megan were facing jail time and a certain and complete loss of custody. Ever the optimists, if they could just make bail, they could start turning things around with the work they secured helping a local realtor that weekend. It sounded like it could be a regular thing and good for both her and John, if they showed up. Megan's mother, Mandy McCraw, heard her daughter's plea, understanding those first steps back into society are always the hardest, and posted their bail.
I said, God, I gotta know what happened, because I can't bear the thought of him just laying in a ditch somewhere on the side of the road like he was a nobody, like he had no value, like he was nothing. If he could just be in my space again, you know?
Late in the day, December 19th, and Mandy has not heard from either Megan or John. Unusual, given their circumstance, she calls Cindy Coxie, and then police. The police tell her to wait 24 hours and all of that. It's the morning of December 20th, and Mandy officially files a missing persons report. Addicted and broke, it seemed reasonable to many that they had simply just run away, And safe to assume that perhaps some, police included, were hopeful they did. The timing could not have seemed more perfect, facing imminent jail time, the government abduction of their children, and no fixed addresses. There was plenty of reason to disappear, and from the outside, no obvious reason to stay. In Spartanburg County, the stigma John and Meagan wore told a conveniently twisted tale of boy and girl who cried wolf. Except here, the wolf was always present.
So, were they at the door and you were inside and shot out, or how did?
Come on forward a little bit.
Yeah, come on, show me.
That's what we're here for.
Actually, both of these happened here.
Similar circumstances.
Totally different circumstances.
Okay.
I got what you need.
I was here going back and forth. Was really deciding whether or not it was going to even. Trying to fit. I was just irritated. It was I don't even know what the hell happened. Basically gave him the trimmers, came out here. I came back around, walked inside, got the Glock 22, and then I came out and dropped him right about here. About this. There's nothing here for me.
I know you're thorough.
When you shot him how many times again, did we say?
3 times.
Okay. And when he fell, what happened then? What did you do after you shot him?
I secured her.
How did you secure her?
Took her in there, put her on the ground, put her in handcuffs. Got her basically where she wasn't a threat, wasn't going anywhere, wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
Then came out here and reassessed him.
And when you reassessed him, what was your determination at that time?
I put another 40 in his chest.
Okay, so you shot him how many times?
3 times.
3 times total?
3 times total.
Okay. After you had shot him and he's down here, how did you proceed then?
Went ahead to talk with her. Basically explained that I wasn't going to rape her or anything, and then got her to calm down. She wanted to see the body. That wasn't going to happen. Got the tractor and took the body up there.
Okay.
Have you found the car? Have you found the car?
Yeah. In the ravine.
Wasn't my best choice.
Did you do anything to the car?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do to it?
Covered it in stain and put about a half a bag of dog food inside of it.
Okay. Up there at the spot where you took Charlie, there were 2 holes dug. What was your intent with the second hole?
Hadn't decided yet.
Was that possibly for Kayla?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
She came real close.
Really?
She has no idea. More than once. Like I told you, I have a real hard time with drug dealers. I have a real hard time with not your normal person. Sorry. With her nonsense with this, she was using the money that I was paying her that day to go get heroin. I almost dropped her here. That's when it got this escalated. Then she kept getting, with her attitude, she mood swings badly.
Okay.
Went through heroin withdrawal while she was here. I've never been through that with somebody.
basically got her clean off of heroin, but she's also, I will tell you, she's made it very crystal clear that the day that she gets out, and it's actually in the writings, that is when she's going to, first thing she's going to do is get a fix. If I can help you with the dealer's name, I will.
Charlie was always known as a gentle and caring soul, the kind of easygoing and generally quiet guy that most people enjoyed being around. Everyone likes Raymond. Charlie, a former member of the National Guard and at the time current police cadet participant, Charlie's focus always seemed to be on helping those around him in any way possible. He would marry early on in his years, perhaps to do the right thing when children were involved, even if they weren't his. His wife, Nicole, was focused to a fault, perhaps the jealous type and maybe a little manipulative. Charlie was the great stepfather that every single alpha mother wanted. From the outside, the match seemed obviously misplaced. But, as it is with every relationship, good and bad, an inevitable dependency forms, and for the players, toxic atmospheres can be easily justified. Charlie would break free from the spell and very quickly started to move on. Although the divorce was not yet finalized, to Charlie at least, the separation was. Charlie would meet Kayla not long after this separation, an intelligent woman who could wear many different faces. Always open for adventures, she was a free spirit in the city kind of gal. They quickly settled into their natural roles in each other's lives, letting life take them where it would, with Kayla at the wheel. Kayla was a part-time cleaner, independent and able to make a tidy sum at each location. She had regular clients, including Todd Kohlhepp, who had used her services to help stage houses many times before. August 30th, 2016, and Kayla and Charlie leave for Woodruff to help Todd Kohlhepp with some yard work. Both Kayla and Charlie would message their usual run of friends and family that morning before suddenly going silent. A few days passed, and Father Charles Sr. was immediately concerned. His son was very family-orientated, a daily contact kind of guy, and the multiple unanswered texts and phone calls was more than enough for fear to set in. Chuck reaches out to police and files a missing persons report. Charlie's estranged wife was immediately suspicious to many of those around her, including police, breaking into Charlie's apartment, stealing his laptop, and posting sometimes heartless and ambivalent things to Facebook, even claiming his death with a strange rest in peace post. When interviewed by investigators, she gave misleading and often contradicting information. Unstable and erratic, she would remain a person of interest throughout this investigation. Eventually, Nicole would change her tune entirely and create a GoFundMe account, which was quickly shut down, and only added to the long list of her strange behaviors. Suddenly, Charlie's Facebook account goes active, and a series of strange posts follow. Police were fully invested in finding Kayla and Charlie right from the first report. They'd followed the strange social media and used cell phone ping records to isolate exactly where to look. A search warrant is finally issued on November 3rd, 2016.
Based on the fact that you were the last person to see them, and there's some other information that the investigators, and like I said, me and him were just brought into this. As a matter of fact, I was just brought into it last night. Okay. Based on some information that Anderson Police Department received, they had contacted us for an assisting an agency report. Okay. And through that, as a standard practice, we follow the lines, like she explained. Okay. And they did the search warrants, okay, with the cell phones and everything. Okay. And based on information, and that's what I was just talking to, was my supervisor. Based on the information that we received and that he's received, we have a search warrant, okay, in your car. Okay. We are mainly looking for your cell phone. Okay. Well, what I need to go in with, at least one other meter and at least 10 need to go in with you.
Yes. Pull that one first. All right, help him get ready. Everybody. Come on, guys. Back. Just jammed in here. Give me that crowbar back. Where's that? Pump it off. Big crowbar. Right here. John, put it out here. Yeah, there you go. Watch out. Y'all move. I got it. Watch out. Hey, Joey. Sheriff's officer. Sheriff's officer. What? Back up there. Are you okay? Grab what? Go. Do you have any weapons? Coming through, okay? What's your name? Right here. Lauren. Gotcha. All right. Just a girl. Just a girl. How are you, honey? This is bolt cutters. This is our best. These are paramedics. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna get you out of there. Okay. Just hang loose for me. Anybody got? I need a handcuff key. Handcuff key. I got it right here. Hold up. Y'all slide back. Hold on. We got a light. We got to get pictures. Brandy, let me see your light, Brandy. You can put your hands up. You're okay. We're here. Okay. Y'all step back. Light on or off? You're fine. We'll get the rest of it here. Let's get her out of here. We're getting bolt cutters, honey. Don't. You got pictures of the cuffs? No, hold on. Is both feet?
Just one.
Let me see.
Attached to a chain to the wall,
Okay.
and my neck's attached to the wall up here.
Okay. All right, we're gonna get you out somewhere, okay? You got me. I got no money from my car. I got no money from my car. Bolt cutter. Just hit the chain right there, loose. Just right there at her hand, Brandon. We'll get it off. We'll get it off here. Cut it right here. Do you know where your buddy is?
Charlie?
Yes.
He shot him.
He shot him?
Who
did?
Todd Kohlhepp shot Charlie Carver 3 times in the chest, wrapped him in a blue tarp, put him in the bucket of the tractor, locked me down here, and I never seen him again. Okay. He says he's dead and buried. He says there's several bodies dead and buried out here, and he says that the dogs will be ruined if they go looking because there's red pepper.
We're going to step you out, sweet. Because there's what?
Red pepper.
Okay.
At least one other meter and at least 10 need to go in with you. Alright, this is Mr. Kohlhepp. While we were here, all right, my sergeant served a search warrant on your property. Okay? We have Kayla.
Excuse me?
We have Kayla in your property. She was locked in a container. Okay? She has told us that you shot and killed Charlie. Okay? So at this time, I'm going to need you to stand up and put your hands behind your back.
He's already
come. Okay. You're under arrest right now for kidnapping. All right? They're continue to search your property. They're going to continue. They got cadaver dogs down there. Okay? If you want to help yourself, tell me where Charlie's at so we can go find his body. That's pretty much where we're at right now.
Okay.
Do you want to help yourself and tell me where the body's at so we can go recover Charlie's body?
No, sir.
You don't want to?
No, sir.
Okay. Why'd you shoot him?
I didn't shoot anybody, sir.
Okay, why'd you lock her in a container in your property?
I was talking.
She's on your property right now, locked in a container. They just got her out of they called it a
shipping container.
Connex box. She was locked in a container in a Connex box. They got her. We have investigators. We have like 20 investigators on your property right now. And they have found her in the Connex box. So she never left your property. Okay, you locked her in the Connex box, and she has told investigators that you shot and killed Charlie. Okay, so I'm trying to give you an opportunity to help yourself and help us, help you find this body. Because she's saying Charlie's body, you buried Charlie's body on that property. So you're saying you didn't lock her up, you didn't put her in the Connex box or anything?
I'm gonna need that Charlie.
Probably a good thing. Go ahead and put him in the back of your car.
Sir. Yes, sir, I will. I'm not resisting.
Okay. Just stand up for me.
Will you?
Stand up for me.
Yes, sir. Come here, Taz.
Yes, what I was going to ask you to do is
As days passed and interrogations continued, Todd would claim a total of 7 murders. Johnny Joe and Meagan Leigh Coxie, Charlie David Carver, Scott Ponder, Beverly Guy, Brian Lucas, and Chris Sherbert. In the Amazon special Serial Killer Devil Unchained, host Maria uncovered a string of have-to-be-more-than-coincident emails and texts that occurred between Todd and Kayla long before her capture, and that are of a much more suggestive nature. Unfortunately, Maria was only granted the ability to view and not publish the alleged correspondence. On November 7th, 4 days after Todd's arrest and 1 day after the anniversary of the Superbike murders, Nicole Carver, Charlie's estranged wife, was formally charged with impersonating a police officer, pretending to be investigating Officer Etzel in an attempt to requisition Charlie's cell records. Her strange and erratic testimonies were noted to have unnecessarily hampered the investigation. It's still unknown why she misled authorities. Todd's trial was short and decisive. A plea deal to avoid the death penalty earned him 7 consecutive life sentences plus 60 years. He's currently incarcerated at Broad River Correctional Institution in Columbia, South Carolina. He's continued to make headlines, however, even behind bars, toying with FBI claiming responsibility for more murders, and later as a plaintiff in a civil suit against the prison, where Todd was suing for alleged unfair treatment. Kayla was welcomed home to a flurry of media attention, something she seemed to bathe in, agreeing to a number of interviews and even an exclusive with Dr. Phil, all before Todd's trial began. Friends and family of the victim spoke out against Kayla's eagerness to discuss the case publicly. Freshly reopened wounds aside, there were valid fears the media attention and exposure to intimate details of the case may sway the jury in unpredictable ways. Kayla does the interviews anyways.
He tried to crush me, but I'm not broken.
It's been months since the dust from Kayla's rescue has settled, and Kayla is back in the news, facing assault charges stemming from a domestic dispute.
The woman who survived being held captive by serial killer Todd Kohlhepp has been arrested. Court records show Kayla Brown has been charged with third-degree criminal domestic violence. She was released from jail Tuesday on a $2,000 personal recognizance bond. Brown was found chained up on Kohlhepp's property in Spartanburg County in 2016. Kohlhepp pleaded guilty to killing 7 people. We'll have more on this story coming up on 7 News Live at 5.
Things would get better briefly for Kayla. As she faded from the spotlight and began to resume her life once again, she would meet Adam Mason. Their courtship was short, and the two fell lovingly into each other's arms. It wasn't long before Adam asked Kayla for her hand in marriage, and she said yes. Thank you once again for watching or listening. This episode was just a little harder than the others to complete. Easily relatable, as I'm sure it is in everyone's lives. Homelessness or addiction has likely affected every one of us in some way or another. Drugs and homelessness certainly played a role in this tragic story. Further victimization of the victims. And although South Carolina seems to now be focused on aid and harm reduction, Spartanburg County itself has largely been left behind. I've recently made the choice to strongly limit the ads on my channel, which is largely demonetized anyways. I feel like ads truly upset the flow of each episode, and I'm choosing to keep the intended vision's integrity over the breaks in continuity. I'm not above a sponsor, however, and am actively looking. I have a Patreon, slowly growing with gracious producers. I try to upload all the things that couldn't make the channel there. Uncensored footage or collected clip folders. I want to work towards many more Patreon exclusives and have a few things in mind already for Season 3. Amy Whittington, Allison Dynamite, Christina Rincon, Lauren, Jessica Wallace, Nicole Tardio, Mark Doyle. Thank you. Entirely my own fault, my channel has started to plateau. Real-world responsibilities, my irregular release schedule, and admitted lack of social media prowess have certainly played a role in that. Besides posting to my own personal Facebook page, most of you have found your way here on your own, organically, and that feels great. But I've been told it's time to up my social media game, and to be honest, I don't even know where to begin. Maybe it's time I ask for help, or I'll figure it out eventually. Until then, thank you once again, and I look forward to seeing you shortly in the next episode and season finale of Something Criminal.
Bullet holes inside my body, there's number on my arms. state, the cooling fate of my lungs. Raving soul, years in the breaking, wearied as a beggar's bones. Too many mornings rise in fate's disguising soul. Oh, I am bleeding out from these scars. Oh, I run recklessly into the dark for a new start. I burn
Amanda,
Yes.
you're homeless here in Seattle.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Seattle's beautiful.
sea of glass on which I'm walking.
What do you want to know?
Winds break beneath the shade.
How do you survive out there? You're living under a bridge.
I try to remember that for as many negatives there are, that there must be that many positives. And so I keep looking at the positives, and I keep trying to remember that there are beautiful colors, and that I'm saving my life, and that's what matters. And it doesn't matter where I live, and it doesn't matter any of it, just so long that I'm alive and that I'm making a difference in this world, because no one's going to stop that. I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to save my life and hopefully do good in the lives of others.
You remain positive even though you're going to the bathroom outside.
Yeah, it's like camping.
But you keep telling yourself that.
You have to. You have to. Because you have to get through it. And you have to remind yourself that you are a person. You are not an object. You are not a thing. And it doesn't matter who threw you away. And it doesn't matter how you were treated in the past. You are worthy